Hey everyone, bloodmako here, and this is my Lufenia fight for Layle's event. It's called Invaders from Distant Seas. It's basically these sharks. So this is actually my second attempt. My first attempt I actually brought Cloud instead of Garland, and it is possible to do with Cloud. I realized it upon completion. But what I basically needed to do was to delay this. Well, if you're going to run that com at least, was to delay these sharks or delete their turns because they don't get frame turns. Which is why you see I brought Emmy for this fight. So after my first try, I decided to bring. I decided to keep Layle and Kais, and decide to bring Garland instead because I wanted to delay their turns as much as possible. And I forgot that Garland can actually delay them while he's in mid-air. So which is why you see I actually screw up the break order there. That was one of the mistakes I made. I should have paid more attention to who I was launching here. So if you want to, you can actually break them in order to build even more turns. So these sharks, they are perfectly well, they are very easy to handle when they are in this blue form. Let's call it blue form at least, okay? And they will change to a red form when they are at 79%. And at 79%, they will actually become, or they will actually reduce all HP damage taken except for a knockback damage, and that includes skills that involves or that will eventually knock back the target. So basically anything that Layle does, Cloud's finishing touch, Kai's what do you call hero support, just before the launch everything will be reduced. So that was one of the issues I faced in the first run. First of all I didn't bring Pandemonium. I just brought Alexander because I was thinking I wasn't going to bring a healer. So that was one of the issues I faced. And another issue was that Cloud was really slow, and the sharks were well, they're not particularly fast. They're just I believe their average speed, their normal speed. It's just that with Emmy you actually see them not going so often. Let's put it that way. And especially with Garland's LD debuff. Wow, that debuff is insane. I mean, look at that. He's hitting cap. Granted, it's the beginning of the fight, but still. So until the boss hits 79%, they are basically a pushover. You don't have to worry about any of the attacks so far. In fact, in my first run, they went a couple of times when they were still in blue, and it was basically just brave damage. I didn't have to worry about it. And also maybe cause I wasn't broken, so I didn't have to worry about the follow-up attack, as you will see later on. It was actually one of the mistakes I made. So the Orb Condition is to basically launch them, and it is very very simple if you bring either Cass or Layle. Cass? Is that how you pronounce his name? K-E-I-S-S. K-I-E-S-S. Cass? Kais? Kais sounds nicer. Okay, anyway. Yeah, you saw that you have to do 150 damage, 150k damage to the sharks, or they will not. They will basically just keep reducing all HP damage while on the ground, so to speak. So Pandemonium is not necessary, but if you are not going to run Pandemonium, I would suggest to bring someone that can brave, or rather grant lots of brave to your party, because the first party member hitting the boss generally will not be doing much, so do not rely on the first hit. If I would say you have to rely more on look at the damage. I mean, it's 400 damage. When was the last time you saw 400 damage? You know. But yeah, so try and brave your other party members as much as possible before the launch, so that they are able to do a full damage in the air. And you need about 1002. Oh, sorry, 120 in the air to do the full 150 damage. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe 120, 130,000 in the air, and then you will actually hit the 150. You know, with the multiplier. I can't remember the multiplier, but it's around that damage if I'm not wrong. Basically, if your other two party members are at cap, then it isn't much of an issue. And I'm not exactly sure if Layle has any effect on this HP reduction. I don't believe he does. I believe his HP damage does not go through also. Yeah, you see, it does 800 only. It doesn't go through. So yeah, don't rely on the first hit. Focus on the other two party members that are in the air. And generally, you want Kais to be in the air because of his brave gain that he gives to the other party members. So you want him to generally be the second member, so that your last member can do as much damage as possible. So yeah, you saw the damage was I believe you saw the damage was 190,000, 199, almost 200k. And that's with Pandemonium's increased HP damage, don't forget. So if you're not running Pandemonium, you could be doing slightly lesser. That is one thing to be very, very careful of. Okay, so when these boss are in their raid form, and basically that's what they will be permanently in all the way for the rest of the fight, you don't ever want to get broken when you're doing their single target damage, because if they do a single target damage and it actually breaks you. Okay, in my first run I actually survived 2 attacks, but in this particular run you'll see that okay, we'll reserve it for later, but yeah, you do not want to get broken when they're doing a single target damage. Basically they'll do a follow-up HP attack immediately. The interesting thing about that is that actually you actually can dodge that second attack. So I would say that if you're not running 2 launchers on me, or if you do and you don't want to run Garland, maybe you can run someone like Galuf, because he can dodge the attacks. I'm not exactly sure if it's a physical or magic attack, but with his unkillable thing, you know, his LD, he basically will survive it no matter what. So that's something you can deal with, because their all attack is just a brave damage. You don't have to worry about it. Basically, this fight is a very, very straightforward fight. You don't have to worry so much. You don't have to worry about a lot of things. You can just do Galus, just dodge mechanics with the fishes, or just tank it out with the LD. Another way is to actually bring Celeste. She's actually boosted for this event, so just basically let her tank. In fact, she won't even get broken, if I'm not wrong. If you do everything right, she will not get broken by the fish, so you don't have to worry about the follow-up attack. So right here I opted to burst. It's slightly higher than when I normally will burst, but I believe the fishes, the sharks, which are also a fish anyway, they will actually gain that stupid HP reduction at 50%. Sorry, 49%, and once more at either 29% or 39%. I can't remember. You will see along the way, but yes, they will have this stupid HP reduction damage a total of 3 times. I did not know it was 3 times. I assumed that it was 2. So I also assumed that it was at 49%. So 79 and 49%. Which is why I actually brought Tifa. I mean, she still works out really well, because with Tifa you can basically just burst the last. Well, I like to bring her at the end, so I will just use her when they are on their last hit and just basically utterly destroy them. But that was when I realized that they actually gained that stupid HP reduction damage, which is a very annoying mechanic. At about 29%, I believe. And the good thing was that because Tifa had single target damage, I can just shift my focus to the other boss while she was still active. I basically needed to get her out of the fight, but since she's still inside and since the other boss can take normal HP damage, I might as well just switch my focus over to the other one. Again, I'm getting ahead of myself. All these are the later parts, and I believe I'll be making a stupid mistake really soon. And it's not really a mistake. It actually caught me by surprise, and it was also during the second phase of the HP reduction damage. You see it pretty soon because when one of the bosses get down to 49%, which is about now. Yep, about now. He actually brings his turn forward. As you can, because you saw that after Garland's burst, their turns were delayed all the way back to the point where you can't see it. So this is the part where you want to be very careful. They actually bring their turn forward to the point where only one of your party member will be going. So if you really want to deal with the mechanic, you can lay up such that it is Layle's turn, because with his LD, I believe it's his LD, with his LD active, right, he will actually, when you launch the boss, he will actually bring the other two party members into the launch, regardless of whether it is their turn next or not. So it actually helps to destroy that stupid HP reduction thing. Okay, I've been saying stupid a lot, but yeah, it is really annoying. And yeah, it helps to deal with it so much. So that is basically the mechanics of this. I believe you can actually also rush down the orb because it disappears at 50%. So you can just bring some calls with launchers. You know, Layle is now one of them, I believe. I have not actually tried him as a call yet. You can bring Kais. Dark Knight Cecil too, even though he only has his second skill. Cloud, Ramza, you know, there are so many options. In fact, you just bring all three launchers as a safety measurement. But then I would say that the issue would be that you want to really brave your party members before you use the call, because like I said, it is a pain to do 150 damage without the first initial hit, because that's generally where your damage is coming from. At least for me, you know, with this particular team comp that I'm running, I'm not exactly sure if you have another special team comp or anything. And yeah, I believe it is here where I made my mistake. Give it like 2 minutes. I was basically trying to see if Layle can speed up to go behind Kai so that he can launch again. I'm not exactly sure if it's here, because I should get back my blade. Yeah, okay, it's not here. I believe it's when A takes his turn. I'm not exactly sure, but I know that they targeted Kais. And it was such a pain to deal with. I should not have done what I did. But yeah, so basically they will always shift their turns forward when they get to the HP. Yes, here is my mistake. You see, he had too little brave, and I thought that was the end of my run already, because you saw that it was a immediate one shot, and Kais obviously does not have last stand. But to my surprise, I actually got super lucky and the boss missed his attack. And that's the only mistake I made in this but it was so I was so pissed with myself, because I actually reached to this point of the fight and I was telling myself, okay, I got this already, you know. And then I made this stupid mistake and I was telling myself, I guess I have to do another run of this. But yeah, so if you're running the same comp as me and the boss are about to take a turn, make sure that you have at least, I would say it's safe to have 25k 25k brief. Because I'm not exactly sure if it's 20k will your party member break or not, but I know that definitely at around the 10,000 range, you will definitely not survive. Yeah, so right here I brought Tifa in, and the only reason why I brought Tifa in was because I was about to summon. I wanted to delay their turn as much as possible. Again, I do not know why I did not expect another HP reduction and then bring their turns forward, because it would be so much safer if I did all this when they were at the 29% mark. But yeah, anyway, I was like, okay, I was telling myself, even if they do have one more phase, I have Layle in, and he is like the most important one in this, even though Kais does battery in mid-air. I was telling myself, doesn't matter, I'll be in summon, I can just, you know, because you do further increased HP damage in the air when you're in the summon phase, so you know, I should be able to do the 150,000 damage. And right here, yes, the turn order was a bit screwed up because I wanted Layle to go instead of Garland and Tifa. It would have been so much better if it was Layle's turn right now, because I can just immediately launch that boss that just got the HP reduction damage. But no matter, I can just shift focus to the other one, try and get him down to 29% or so. And if you notice, they shifted their turns forward again to just before the summon ended. In fact, he actually, A was supposed to immediately go after the summon ended. I was lucky that Layle with his high turn rate managed to go faster than A. Because I honestly didn't want them to take another turn. I wanted to try and finish them off here and now. Or when Kais comes back, so that I don't have to worry about battery. Because with Kai's LD active, as long as we are doing an absurd amount of damage in the air, we always get back full brave, as you can see right about. Yeah, you see, because of the fact, I mean, I do not know why it's so little brave, but this part actually surprised me because I expected myself to get a lot more than that. But yeah, it would be better for you if you actually summon and they are at the 29%, so that you have more breathing room. That was one of the mistakes that I feel like I made. And right here you see Layle actually did 23k damage. I'm not sure why it's so high, but even then he was not able to do 150 damage to the boss, and that's pretty annoying. But you can always just brute force it, you know, you can just delay them with Garland and then use Kais and Layle to just will the damage in the air, you know. You don't have to really reduce or get rid of the brave reduction damage, because with Kais and Layle on your team, most of your damage will be in the air. Yeah, but here I was basically just trying to set up for when for the other boss. I was trying to do more damage, or rather try and get as much battery back as possible, especially with Tifa, because she's going to exit the fight, which is why I set up such that Tifa will be able to dump her brave before she takes exit. And it was just so happened to be enough, I believe, to get rid of the HP reduction on B. And right here I actually realized, hey, I still have one more call, you know. One more Tifa LD. I was like, huh? Might as well use it now, you know, it's now or never already, right? And again I screw up the turn order, because Garland delays. Yes, I keep forgetting that. I believe the only reason why I'm getting so little brave back was because at this point of the fight the bosses were already reducing the brave gain by a lot. But if you manage to reach to this part of the fight, I would say be very careful on the boss that is doing a single target damage. If you can, just take him out immediately, because there is no rage. These bosses do not have rage mechanic, so you can take one out and then focus fire on the other one. In fact, with Garland on your team, it actually makes things a lot easier if there's only one boss in the fight. So yeah, here I was just checking the turn count. I was making sure that it's not those ridiculous turn counts like 50 turn counts and stuff like that. But yeah, other than that, the bosses are just HP sponges, I guess. They just absorb all the damage you can. It's possible to not let them get a turn, I believe so at least. You just need to time your calls and who goes when more efficiently than what I did. But even if they do go, you just make sure that if you have enough breath, you will not be able to do much more. Yeah, so right here, I was just trying to basically kill them all. I had a few more LDs with Layle, so I decided to just throw one out right here. Another one with Kais. I mean, because of how little times they took their turn, Kais had quite a few of his LDs because he basically didn't run out on them. And I was mainly using hero support on Kais. Yeah, I mean, I still have one more LD with Layle, and I can't remember if I used it or not. I believe I did, but I could be mistaken. Because I think I used it on B. I used Garland to launch A. I believe I launched him. I can't remember. Did I launch him? No, there was no launch available. Yeah, so I used Layle to kill A, right? We'll see it soon, I guess. In fact, I shall use his C65 just to get more brief. But at this point of the fight, it doesn't really matter because there's no more HP reduction damage. So, yeah, we are kind of set. I mean, look at the boss, 6 and 2%. And we are definitely going to kill one. In fact, here's where we kill A. The delay doesn't really matter. There's no way to scroll the turn when one is dead. And 6%, you know, at this point of time I wasn't really worried. I decided to use hero support and launch with Garland. And here I was thinking, you know, Disaster of Chaos or his EX would be a nice finishing blow to his Rage Shark. But alas, he actually survives with 1 HP. 1% HP, sorry. And I was thinking to myself, oh man, what a waste. But hey, at least Kais gets to use his last LD, oh sorry, his EX and look cool taking this shark out, you know. Yeah guys, this fight is very doable. Just play safe with whoever the boss is targeting. It will be a lot easier if you just bring a tank. My spheres and artifacts are as usual at the end of the video. And I hope you guys are able to clear this Lufenia. It's pretty simple, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.